Hey guys, this is Dino Duelist Academy. Tristan here filling in for Todd, and here we are with Josh, who got first place at our locals with Infernobles, and I'll let him dive into that more.
All right, so we play a 45 Noble Infernoble hybrid, and let's just get in.
All right.
First, our starters, we play triple Neo Space Connector.
Flip them this way.
Oh, sorry.
So that way they can see it.
Full Neo Space Connector. And with the required one Aqua Dolphin. One card eyes old, really great. Then we play triple Madrats, with Ektar being the usual special summon off that. We sometimes also go for Ogier, but he's 2 card eyes old, and he lets us sometimes set up chain blocked Isolde's first effect, and it also lets us throw Ektar into grave to let us go for a Trishula easily, depending on how our starting hand goes. Then play 1 Ogier, normal summon, send Gear Free to the grave, because that's just good. Other target for Madrat. Then we play, for extenders, we play 2 Oliver. I've tried him at 3, feels too bricky to me. I mean, even at 2, I somehow opened my last game with 2 in hand. But maybe that's just my luck. Play 2 Renauds. Great extender, grabs us our equips back. Really important with DDR to let us get Charles back. Then we play 2 red layers. Great way to get to Isolde without having to worry about needing a normal summon of either Connector or Madrat to go up. It means with her we can start with Ogier or Oliver or Renaud or any of the other warriors that we run in the deck. And then we run double Firefront Lady. Just another great extender. You can, if you want to be cute, you can normal summon him and then special Madrat, or use her effect special Madrat or Connector, so you can guarantee, or sorry, no, just Madrat to make sure your effects don't get infinite impermed. Then we won one Armageddon Knight, and with it we won a Plague Spreader just to shuffle back Cult Wing if we get unlucky and it ends up in our starting hand, which happens all the time to me. Then we play our 2 copies of the Boss Monster. Worst case scenario, he also works as an extender. He outs Dragoon, he's big, he's a monster negate. It helps us make calamities too if we need be. Sometimes you get to choose if you want to leave a Charles on the field or a Gear Feed on the field with calamities, which can be a very dangerous board state for your enemies. Alright, then for our bricks, we won 1 Gemba because he's a level 2 warrior that we can special with Isolde, and he's good for DDR tricks. We won 1 Despot 001 because he's just too good with Cult Wing and Aurodon. 1 Plague Spreader to shuffle back Cult Wing when our deck hates us. And 1 Cult Wing. Never want to see it in your opening hand. But we play Plague Spreader so we can play through it if it does happen. Okay. Finally, we have our hand traps. We have double Ghost and double Ash. Ash and Ghost.
That's pretty standard.
Yeah, pretty standard. Alright, next up are our spells. So first, consistency. We see triple Heritage of the Chalice. Lets you search out Renaud, an extender, and Oliver. Also, even lets you search out Durandal if you say, okay, I want to extend, but I don't want to use a Noble Knight to extend. I'll grab Durandal, use Durandal to grab Firefront Lady or Red Layer. 1 Rhoda, because we're playing Warriors. Why the hell wouldn't we? Rhoda. We have trip copies of Durandal. because another searcher. It's also great engraved with Charles still on the board, because then you equip it, equip Renaud from deck, and if Charles dies, you get this special back Renaud with Durandal's effect, and then Renaud adds Durandal back to hand, setting you up for next turn. And for consistency, we also won triple glory of the Noble Knights. It lets us search out a equip for Madrat when we need it. It lets us search out Durandal so we can grab an extender. It also lets us play around hand traps a little bit, and particularly Infinite Imperm or Ghost Ogre. Sometimes Gamma, depending on what extenders you have. You can use Glory to grab a Destiny or a Excalibur stopping the targeting, and Destiny stopping the destruction. Triple DDR for our equips. Use it with Power Tool, extends your game. Also lets you repeatedly bring back Charles without actually synchroning summoning him, once you summoned him in the first place. Then we have one of equips, one Living Fossil, in case you don't want the DDR. One Phoenix Blade, because we like adding things to our hands and banishing them for DDR. One Destiny to work with Glory and with Madrat. One Excalibur to work with Glory and Madrat. And one Joyous, because it's nice to grab gear free without using Renaud. And that wraps it up for the main. Okay. Moving on to the extra.
Oh, right.
We have two Izolds.
Let's say one? No.
Just important to have two in case you have to try for your play again on a turn 4 or a turn 3. Also nice in case you get impermed on the first effect, you can get extend or make a new one sometimes. Then we play one Hockey Firex. It's combo.
Only if Lane Cross was still here.
If only.
No, I'm just kidding. I hate Lane Cross.
One Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon. Again, combo, brings out 3, works great with 001. You can make it work with Plague Spreader, not as nice, but still. Then we run one Appaloosa, just to make it, if need be, during your turn 3 to try to hold off. We really don't try to make it on turn 1. There's some hands you could do it, but it's resource extensive. One Power Tool Dragon, search 3 DDR. Go ahead and roll die, get your DDR. One Captain Roland, gets us a search spinning end phase, helps us build into Charles and makes Charles an interruption on your opponent's turn. One Infernoble Knight Captain Oliver. In particular, he works great with Ektar, because once he's out, you can, once he goes to the grave, you can just bring him back next turn, specialing Ektar out, and using his effective special over Ektar, and suddenly he has an equip, so if he attacks, he also pops. One Balmung to pop with Charles to extend our plays. Can even pop Coltwing and bring or pop it and bring back Coltwing, which brings back 001 and one more time. One Herald for our negation and final board state.
Of course, and a Macrocosmos.
And a Macrocosmos. That actually came up today against 60 card PK Orcus. One Charles, because he's our way to clan and our big boss monster. One Boral Savage. This is in here in case I have to take the line of play that forces me to go Plague Spreader route. This means I end on Clam and Boral Savage. Can be stronger, but also means that I don't get to, or I don't have as good of a setup for turn 3. One Artorigus. He this is one that people probably don't see or play. I personally love the OG Noble Knights, and I wanted to work them in somewhere. Arturgus lets us, if we have an extender in hand, Madrod special summon Ektar. Madrod and Ektar makes him, and he can attempt to blow up on something on your opponent's side of the field. He's also great on turn 3 or past because he'll grab noble arms from the grave, so you can grab your Durandal, your Joyous, get more plays out of those. The other nice thing is when he goes from field to grave, special summons a 1 4 or higher level Noble Knight. This means that you can use him to grab the people that he was used to make him and just extend your plays a little bit. 1 Calamities because very fun dragon is very fun.
Of course.
BFD go Burr. And then finally, Trishula to help us get into Calamities. We special summon Ektar on turns, or when we use Madrot to special summon Ektar. We special summon Ektar back from the deck to be one of the banishes for Trishula. We can also, meaning we can leave a Cult Wing or an Aurora on unbanished. Yeah. For the side, we play triple Twin Twisters. Spell and trap destruction is important, especially with Eldritch running around. And, you know, your odd Mystic Mine matchup.
Right.
Got some nightmares there. We play 1 more copy of Ghost Ogre to let us go to 3 in main. This is we play triple copies of Dark Ruler no more, because being able to go second and break your opponent's board is important.
Of course.
We play triple copies of Infinite Impermanence because negating effects. Good hand trap. 1 Kaiju. Not sure I really like him in the side. Might leave, might be replaced with someone else. Ash Blossoms, so we can get to triple Ash in the main. And then our Evenly, because going second and breaking board is important.
Right.
Finally, for the 2 more odd ones, we have Caliburn. Actually cleaned up in my first match of the day. We ended up running to time on game 3. I was able to say, I'm going first. I'm going to use Power Tool to grab Caliburn. Caliburn gain life points, Caliburn gain life points, and continue to combo through the rest of the turn. And then we have 1 copy of Sacred Noble Knight of King Arthur Testament. These are non-targeting removal in the extra deck. We have non-targeting removal in Gearfried, but he's also just nice because he can remove spell and traps with his effect as well. He can even he even floats into another XYZ Noble Knight when he dies. So if you can bait out some negation and destruction effects, he dies, you go into Arturgus then, and then you have another effect in the interaction. And if they kill Arturgus, you at least get 1 Noble Knight back.
All right, Joshua, do you have any shout outs or anything, or?
Shout out to both Todd and Lars to helping me set up the 40 card version of this that I immediately said, I want a couple more things, and spread up to 45.
Hey, that's okay. You added some pretty good cards to it.
All right.
All right, well, thank you, Joshua, and I hope you have a good time. I don't know what to say. I'm so bad.